All right, so here's the piston in the cylinder. This is what the caps look like. They got little rubber seals that this lip smashes into to seal it. There are 4, no, take that back, there's 3 of these X-rings on the pistons. And the pistons look like this when they're not in the cylinder. So here's what the pistons look like. There's little X-rings fit in these grooves. They seal it off. Here's the circuit board. I accidentally wired the diode in the wrong spot, so I got to address that. Otherwise, it works. I'm going to use the bar graph board for a little user interface. And there's a clamp for the thing. Here's the main setup. That's the solenoid that's getting actuated by the microcontroller. I'm just using this remote oil filter so I can tap into it over here with this other, using this remote oil filter so I can tap into it here instead of having to build another piece. This is our air pressure regulator. So we're gonna plumb this into the air side and then the pneumatic side of the cylinder. We're gonna be able to pump this full of air. This is gonna go into the cylinder. This is where we pump it up, and then this is gonna go to our gauge. So we have a little analog, you know, little analog, so we know if this thing's functioning or not, no matter what. So here's where we plugged into the ground. That's where we tapped into the starter right here. Here's where we tapped into the ignition, as well as our 12-volt power source. Might as well use the same thing. We have inline fuses on our signal sensors. We have an inline fuse on the 12-volt going to the solenoid. We have the high side, the low side of the solenoid going into our circuit. We have a transient voltage suppressor. One of my wires came loose. On this side is our connections going to the board. On that side is all our 12 volt. So this is coming from the truck. This is coming from the truck. This is coming from the solenoid. That one's ground. This is our voltage thing. It's connected to the board. We'll go over the mechanical system. Here's our pressure gauge. We popped it, pressure testing it too high. That is connected to this block to fill it in the front and the grill. The fill goes down, you can see it, to the top of the accumulator. Accumulator is mounted behind the front bumper here. Top goes to the air, the bottom side is the hydraulic, top side's pneumatic, whatever. Here's the transient voltage in the high side of the solenoid. There's our solenoid. And the solenoid plumbs into this slick little remote oil filter that I got. Made one of the parts I made unnecessary. And that's it for the mechanical side of this system. There's a piston in there. Got a bunch of O-rings on it. More details if needed. So our program is functioning. Right now it's on the first mode, which is starter actuated. The light's on and the valve is closed. If I cycle it, second mode, that means it's ignition operated. Third mode is user operated. Fourth mode is battery check, and then it cycles back to the first mode. After a few seconds it should. There we go. All right. Now we're going to test it right after I fix that wire. All right, here we go to test the product. Car's on. Nothing's blown up yet. All right, got my diode right. Solenoid opened. Put it on manual mode. Closed, open, or closed. Open, closed, open. Oh, love it. Battery check doesn't work. Haven't figured out that function program yet. Back to the beginning. Now I haven't found a way to put this through the firewall yet. I'm just kind of running out of time with the rain here.